yeah, SEO is like, or organic search is like 53 or something % of all the website visitors, and paid is like 27% or something like that. So there's crazy long-term benefits associated with it.
So today I'm excited to be joined by Thomas Phillips, a digital marketing and e-commerce expert with 18 years of experience. Thomas has generated over $70 million for his own and his clients' brands. So Thomas is the founder of DTCSEOagency.com, and he's here to share strategies for scaling our online stores organically. So Thomas, first of all, it's fantastic to have you with us here today.
Yeah, much appreciated, James. Thank you.
No, pleasure to have you on. So let us know a little bit about your journey and how that's brought you to what you're working on today.
Yeah, roughly when I was around 13 years old, I'm 32 now, I started my first online business. I was basically building miniature skateboards in my dad's garage, like little tech decks, 3 wooden ply versions and whatnot. And yeah, built my first website. It was called Vision Decks. Put everything online. Yeah, and it just went like gangbusters. It went crazy. I had a little like PayPal button on there, HTML coded website. And that was my first experience of SEO. I sold to 39 different countries in the first year. And I was ranked super high for like fingerboards and all these different keywords associated with it. And it got so busy in my first year of school in year 7, I had to close it down after a year. I just couldn't keep up with demand. I didn't know about hiring people or anything like that. So yeah, it went crazy. That was my first experience, and then I bought a motocross bike with the profits. So that was kind of my first experience with SEO and everything online, and basically building a product, e-commerce side of things. And then it just went from there, really. It just took off, and I've just had so many different businesses, exited like 16 different brands online. And now we're kind of at the point where we're building out our own different brands and also building out the agency. It's got to the point so many people are asking us, hey, can you do our SEO? That we're like, all right, okay, we'll actually build it into something proper instead of just a background thing now. So it's kind of where we're at.
Amazing. What a story. So entrepreneurial drive straight in you from the age of 13 is clear. I mean, and also you're well ahead of your time. So that must have been, what, 2006? Are we talking when you first started that initial business, something around then?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, year 7 at school.
Yeah, and the tools that we have at our fingertips now, like Shopify, Google Ads, they wouldn't have been anywhere near as mature at that level. I mean, how did you get started? Did you have mentors around you?
No, not at that age. It was a case of like, okay, I've got this idea. I've seen someone else is doing it online. I think I could actually do it better. And it was a case of like, okay, how do I build a website? All right, you start at square one. Like most of your students, I'm sure, like, how do I do this? Okay, I need to learn that. Right. Now I understand that to a point. Cool. Okay, on to the next thing. What else do I need to know? Oh, payment processes. Okay, what's like the only one I can do? This one. So it just kind of starts out, you achieve one thing. Cool. Okay, on to the next thing. How do I do that? Okay, I now know. On to the next thing. But back then it was literally just a HTML website coded with tables. But now you've got Shopify. It's just boom, out the box. Happy days. Everything's integrated. It's mad in comparison.
Yeah, the difference now with the market where we've got it to where it's so intuitive now to build a website and you don't get any coding experience. But yeah, back then it's fascinating. You're right, you go through such a high learning curve when you first get started with any business. You obviously had that mindset from the start that no matter what obstacle came up, you knew that there would be a way. Did you know where that came from? Or did you have like family around you that taught you that obstacles are there to be overcome?
Yeah, potentially. Like my dad was a chartered accountant, so he was always basically away working from early till late at night. But he used to work on his cars at night, and I used to then go into the garage and see like the dedication of like 2-3 hours a night, you know, just building a car for 7 years, like an old American car. You know, and then seeing the end result and being like, oh wow, okay, if you go steady at something, you know, and you continue to build it, then it's going to result in something. So I'm sure that wore off on me, not really realizing it at the time, but not necessarily so entrepreneurial. But I think I had something in me from a young age. I had the classic story as well as obviously like selling sweets at school. My mum used to run the brownies, so I used to buy Freddos from Booker's and take orders on MSN the night before, everything like that. So pre-order, I knew how much stock to bring in, all that kind of stuff.
The big operation.
Yeah, exactly.
At 13, I mean, you had it nailed down with the MSN operation. It was, definitely those traits have come through, and being able to see your dad work on something for years and not necessarily see the outcome or fruition of all that hard work until later down the road. I mean, delayed gratification, essentially. Do you think that's played a big part in the businesses that you've been able to grow ever since?
Yeah. I mean, it's always I'd say that's a really tricky one to try and do, especially nowadays. Everyone wants everything now. I want a successful overnight business and everything like that. And you always think, oh, maybe I could achieve it with this one. But then it's always so much more work than you actually think. And I think that's really the reality of it, is like, some things seem like they're very easy, but I think every single thing that you go into, if you want to become really, really, really good at it, it's going to take a long time, which is really worth noting, up front. Do I want to be in this for the long term? Yes or no? If you do, then yeah, dedicating all those hours and time to it is going to be worth it in the long term.
Exactly. Yeah, it's committing and having a big enough vision that it makes it all worth it, the time and effort that you'll put into creating something brilliant. So bringing us up to nowadays, SEO obviously plays a huge role in the brands that you've been able to build. I just want to break it down for people that are watching or listening today. So SEO, what is it? And if you can, sort of explain, why do you think it's so important for e-commerce businesses?
Yeah, so effectively, SEO, search engine optimization, it effectively helps people find your products and your website from whatever they're searching for online. So yeah, if you had a website selling, let's say miniature skateboards, right? I would want to be first on Google for miniature skateboards. The intent of someone searching for that item is so high that they might buy, that's the kind of traffic I want. So it's great because SEO traffic, organic search traffic, converts at such a higher level than something like Facebook ads, Meta ads, because someone is mid-scroll doing something else, looking at something, and then you have to try and capture their attention, get them to click through, get them to be super interested, and then purchase. That's pretty difficult. But I've always liked to go, okay, here's an idea, here's a potential product. How many people are searching for it? Can we rank for it? If we can, it's a case of putting the product in front of the person who's already searching for it. The intent is there. It's a high purchase intent. It's a high conversion. Happy days. There's tools online that already tell you, okay, this is getting 10,000 searches a month. Is it something you can rank for? Yes or no? So I like that because the traffic's already there. I don't have to try and create the traffic.
Yeah, you don't have to disrupt people from their online experience. If they're scrolling Facebook or Instagram, we're not disrupting them. Instead, we're looking to get in front of the people that are already searching, already clearly in the market. So that's what SEO is really optimizing for, I guess, is to get in front of people that are already in the market for the products that we're selling.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, SEO is organic search is like 53 or something % of all the website visitors, and paid is like 27% or something like that. So there's crazy long-term benefits associated with it. It's just so much better. Your costs stay flat. So when your traffic goes up and increases, the profitability on that traffic is crazy. Overnight you can have huge upticks in traffic where you then start ranking top of Google, versus paid ads. It tracks with your revenue. So your margin is always squeezed throughout the whole time, unless you have an absolute killer ad that you can scale with a high ROAS, but it's tricky.
So the scalability is sort of built in with the organic element of SEO. It's interesting to compare the two. So the paid ads that we put together, whether that's through Google or Facebook, we're paying to make sure that people are clicking or seeing our ads. Whereas with organic, it's a game of actually optimizing our websites to ensure that they are naturally and organically, so for free, showing on the first page or as close to the first page as possible. So with the difference between paid ads and SEO, do you think that the main benefit of optimizing your SEO efforts, Do you think it's the scalability aspect? Do you think that's the biggest benefit of spending time working on SEO compared to paid ads?
I'd say it's the profitability and the consistency of that profitability. So we also do meta ads for our own brands. Don't get me wrong. Good understanding of it. What I don't like is the volatility. You know, you really have to get way above your fixed costs to make a profit. But then if one day your ads don't perform for whatever reason, which happens a lot, then your CPA, your cost of acquisition, suddenly skyrockets because you're spending $150 and your average order value is $100, and now you're out of pocket plus your fixed costs. Versus with SEO, if I'm ranking for a keyword that has enough people searching for it every single month, and I know that I can place it up very high in the SERPs, search engine results page, and I know, okay, that might cost me, for my entire website, might cost me a few thousand a month, but I'm making 15 grand a month and it's consistent, then I'm constantly getting a huge profit margin. So it's much closer to your cost of goods percentage as opposed to cost of goods plus, I don't know, 40% on Facebook ads, and I'm left with my 20% at the bottom, or 15, 10, whatever it might be.